Hey everybody, Nick from 9Card TCG, and I know, same shirt, different video. It's because I'm recording this on the same day as yesterday's video. Yesterday, we talked about a Sun Sweep team that I've been using in the Battle Tower doubles and also on competitive ranked PvP in Pokemon Sword and Shield. And I was eating some lunch and I thought about, I'm sure someone who watches this video is going to say, why are you using Ninetales and not Torkoal? And today, I want to make my case for why I like to use Ninetales instead of Torkoal. So let's do a side-by-side comparison of the stats and moves for both Torkoal and Ninetales, and then we'll talk a little bit about the types of situations or scenarios that you can get yourself in and why I use Ninetales instead of Torkoal. The first thing is the Drought ability. On Torkoal, it is just a regular secondary ability, but on Ninetales, Drought is a hidden ability. So getting this Ninetales is a little bit harder than it is on Torkoal, but let's pretend you have one of each. Both Torkoal and Ninetales are pure fire types, so we don't have to worry about differences in effectiveness and resistances, so that's kind of a wash. The big thing boils down to two things as far as stats are concerned: speed and defense. Do you value a Pokemon that can tank physical hits a lot more, or do you want a Pokemon that's going to be able to move quicker in the rotation? That's up to you and your personal style and your choices. But if you're unsure, that's what the point of this video is. So I prefer the speed. And you can see Torkoal's stats right here: 70 HP, 85 attack, 140 defense, 85 special attack, 70 special defense, and 20 speed for a total of 470. Now that very high defense is offset by that incredibly low speed. And yes, you can give it things like a Quick Claw to make it move first, but you're probably going to want Torkoal to hold something like a Heat Rock just to keep that sunlight and that drought going for even longer. Ninetales, on the other hand, 73 HP, 76 attack, 75 defense, 81 special attack, and then 100 for both speed and special defense, giving you a total of 505. And I don't know about you, but 505 is quite a bit more than 420. Again, it is offset primarily by the large discrepancy in physical defense and speed. But let me make the case for why speed is better. And yes, we could talk about move pools, but really what it boils down to is Ninetales will learn Dark, Psychic, and Ghost type moves, and then Torkoal will learn Poison, Rock, and Fighting type moves. The rest of their movesets are going to overlap. They can both learn a Ground type move, they can both learn Fire, they can both learn Grass type move. So those are the different moves or move types that they can learn. So if you say, I absolutely need a Fighting type move in my team, well then perhaps Torkoal is already the better choice. But if all things are equal and you just need to pick one for the purposes of drought or for a little bit of support, well then I'm going to make the argument for Ninetales. Let's go through this as an actual battle. So you start the battle, you send out your two Pokemon. Let's pretend it's doubles because things do change a lot in singles. So let's talk about this in doubles, and also because that's the team that I made and showed off in the previous video. In doubles, you're going to send out your fire Pokemon to set up drought. In my case, it's going to be Ninetales. But let's pretend you send out Torkoal. Torkoal's going to get its drought, and when it's measly 20 speed, it's going to go last in the rotation every time. Which is good in a way. If you have an opposing Pokemon who comes out and sets up Sandstream, and then Torkoal goes last, well, it'll set up Drought at the end, which is good. But if you're fighting a Sandaconda, which Sandaconda is really popular in ground or sand weather teams, or if you're fighting a Pokemon that knows to move Rain Dance or Sandstream or something, or Sandstorm rather, or you get switched in on a Pokemon that has the Sandstream ability, maybe they don't send out that Tyranitar with Sandstream immediately. They send out something else. Now, if you have to set up Drought again, you're going to go last. And your Pokemon that use Chlorophyll and Sun Power won't get the benefits at the beginning of the turn or close to the beginning of the turn like they would if you were using Ninetales, because in order for you to get the drought going, you have one of three options. The first option is you can switch out your Pokemon and bring Torkoal back in, but that takes a full 2 turns to do, and it's a lot of switching. You're going to be taking a lot of attacks, and if your opponent has any entry hazards, you're going to have to deal with those. So not really the best option. Yes, things like U-turn, flip turn, voltage switch, they can all make it a lot easier to switch, but you still have to switch to a Pokemon that has that move in order to switch back to Torkoal to set up Drought. So not a good option. The next option is to Dynamax a Pokemon that knows a fire type move and use Max Flare, because at the end of the move it will make the Sunlight harsh and great. But that one, you're going to use your Dynamax in a time or with a Pokemon that you may not have wanted. And if you're like me and your primary Sun Sweeper is a Gigantamax Charizard, well, Gmax Wild Flame or Gmax Wildfire does not set up Drought. It leaves chip damage. It leaves like a Fire Spin type of damage effect for 3 turns instead of Drought. So you have to have a Pokemon ready to use Max Flare specifically. So you can either not Gigantamax your Charizard, or you can Dynamax, say, Torkoal, who has a fire type move, and use Max Flare. But that might not be part of your plan. That might not be what you want to do, and it might happen at a time in which you don't want to do it. Also, let's pretend you are fighting something that, well, they can switch and mess with the weather again, and now you've already used your Dynamax. You can keep Max Flaring for a couple of turns to keep pulling the weather back and forth and do this tug of war, but what is your third option? Third option is to use the move Sunny Day. If Torkoal is using the move Sunny Day, with a 20 speed, he's gonna go last. It's going to go last. So then, let's pretend you have a Pokemon with either Chlorophyll or Sun Power out on the field with you, because you're trying to maximize the use of the harsh sunlight. If you have a Chlorophyll Pokemon, it's gonna go before Torkoal, because not many Pokemon have a lower speed than 20, so it's gonna go before Torkoal, but it won't get the speed boost, so it won't go before any other Pokemon, so not helpful. And if you have a Solar Power Pokemon, it's gonna go and attack first, so you're not gonna get the special attack boost that Solar Power gets, but because the sunlight will turn harsh before the turn is over, you will take the damage from Solar Power, so you get the negative side of Solar Power without getting the attack boost, and it's like, why even do it at that point? Ninetales has Sunny Day, and you will use it pretty early in the turn, so it's more likely that your Pokemon with Chlorophyll and Solar Power will be able to use their abilities more effectively in that turn. You don't want to have to wait until the very end of the turn or until next turn to start maximizing your Pokemon. You need to do it now. Competitive teams are really good, and the slightest little boost in special attack or in speed can be all the difference in winning and losing. But that is going to do it for today. I wanted to do a quick follow-up video talking about why I do Ninetales instead of Torkoal, and I'm sure someone is watching this being like, but Torkoal can learn Yawn, and that's such a great move for anything, for competitive. But Ninetales can learn Hypnosis, and if you want to be really sneaky, then you can pair Ninetales with the Hypnosis and with the Blunder Policy, so that every time Hypnosis misses, you get your stat boost and your accuracy boost. Isn't what you might want to use Ninetales for? No, maybe not, but I mean, it's definitely an option, especially if you can Sunny Day or Max Flare, so you're not using a Gigantamax Charizard. Well, yeah, now you'll be able to get that Flare, or you'll be able to get that Solar Power a lot easier, because Ninetales will be going first, its accuracy is a lot higher, and you'll have the Max Flare setting up the sunlight. And I didn't mention this before because I forgot about it until right now, but even if you do Dynamax, say, your Charizard, right? That's your sweeper, you're ready to Dynamax it, Max Flare might not be the move that you want to use in this turn. You might need to use a Max Airstream to get your team a little speed boost. You might need to use a Max Wormwind to take down a Dragapult or some other dragon type. There might be other things that you have to do, so you don't want to rely on Dynamaxing and using Max Flare as your source of sunlight. That's why both Venusaur and Ninetales on my team know Sunny Day. If Ninetales dies and another weather starts up, I can't be left with no option on changing the weather, so I gave Venusaur Sunny Day as well, because Venusaur is pretty tanky. He could take a hit and most likely get that sun out even if he goes towards the bottom of the rotation. But that is going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below what team member you would prefer, Torkoal or Ninetales. I'm team Ninetales, but who knows, maybe you're team Ninetales. Wait, what? If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button so YouTube knows that this is something that other people might want to be watching, and don't forget to hit the bell notification button to be notified every time we put out new videos. We talk about Pokemon TCG, we talk about Pokemon VG, Digimon stuff, we do random Pokemon videos, so, you know, maybe just hit it. It's like right there. Just click it. You got it. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.